Good day, everyone. It is Tuesday, August 20th, 2019. Are the altcoins ready to take off? We're going to go through in this video and describe exactly how we're going to tell when the altcoins are finally ready to take off. First, we'll stop by the disclaimer. You can pause the video because this is just my trading journal, really, not specific trading advice, unless you have the whole course. And so let's start off. I want to do a little bit today on a day in the life of a crypto trader. I get up in the morning, usually around 4 o'clock, a little bit after 4 o'clock. And I like to start off my day by going through this spreadsheet and updating and grading all of the markets on Poloniex. And I go through and I give them a grade if they are a hold or an alert or a fail or a near fail. And we do this every single day. And we can see right now that we have 34 of them in near fail status and 11 of them in alert status. I'm also working with AOL Chandra, and she is updating the Binance spreadsheet. That's got some 150 coins on there. And we can see here that we have 66 of them in neutral stance. 70 of them are near fail. And from yesterday to today, a bunch of them moved back into fail status as we're seeing Bitcoin starting to put pressure on and Bitcoin dominance starting to rise a little bit. I love to do this data every single day, partly because we are doing it as a service for people who are part of our Patreon group, but mostly for my own trading so that I get the big bird's eye view of what all of the cryptos are doing from this chart. We can see the gray line for me is the most important right now. When this gray line starts picking back up again, we know that we're edging towards the bull market. When the yellow line starts to pick up, we are really certain that we are coming into the bull market. Right now, we're not coming into it yet. And if you would like to have this data and you would like to have us working for you every morning, you can support our work by becoming a patron. And you also get tons of extra training that goes along with that. Once I'm done this spreadsheet, I move on to the more advanced spreadsheet. And all of these coins that turned up in neutral status actually can be advanced trading opportunities. And those we write up into our crypto Binance Watch spreadsheet here, where I'm watching everything on Binance, and we can see which ones are alerts and which ones are in hold status. We can see that QKC just went below our stop loss here and has kicked us out of the trade. This is automatically updated and sent out. And then I go through and I review what we have as our PDF executive overview of all of our trades, everything that we have as a hold status or an alert status, and that gets published over on our brand new Patreon channel. Now, we've been doing this course and education since 2015, but I recently set up a Patreon channel because it seems to be a popular way for people to connect, and it's a great system for putting the information up there. So if you'd like to have us researching for you, you can come and join us over on Patreon, and there's a link down below. Now, in today's episode, I want to go through our big 6 coins. This is ADA, EOS, Ethereum, Litecoin, Tron, and Ripple. And then I want to go over to Binance and take a look at what's going on recently with the biggest movers and the biggest volume traded coins, and take a quick look at those. So if this kind of stuff is interesting to you, be sure to hit the thumbs up button so that we keep this going. And if you want this additional data for helping your actual trading, then that Patreon group is for you. Now I'm going to go through each of the coins in sequence for one indicator, and then I'm going to go to the next indicator and go through the coins in sequence, rather than taking one coin and going through all the indicators and coming back. So ADA is inside this 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. I would call this neutral. Until it starts edging up against these levels, then it would become an alert, and we might be looking at taking a position on it. Right now, nothing while it's in between here. And that's how long it takes me to trade this. Here's this one, nothing for me to do here. It may be going lower, but I'm not going to trade short on any of these right now. We'll trade shorts on these after they come up out of a top formation and we have an uptrend line to cut. But right now, all we have is downtrend line. And so we're watching for this to be bottoming and turning around. Nothing yet here. Ethereum, nothing to do here. 1, 2, 3 bottom formation shaping up. We just got to wait for it to build up and give us what we need. Litecoin's making a double bottom. Surprised to me that it's hitting these lows. I wasn't expecting this from Litecoin, but once it builds these formations and starts going higher, then we'll change our tunes. Other than that, it's neutral city, nothing to do there. TRX has not been my favorite all the way through this, and now we've got 3 times off this bottom and higher RSI. It's my favorite chart from what I'm seeing here today. And it actually may be setting up for a springboard pattern entry. And I'll talk more about that later. Ripple is 3 times off this bottom, higher RSI, not nice enough. I don't like this big candle down. Normally I ignore those, but I don't like it. And so there's nothing to do in Ripple. And I'm done trading all 6 of these markets just that fast. But I want to go through these other indicators so that I can have this logged for the future. When I come back and review today, if I need to, I want to be able to see what these indicators are actually telling us. So ADA is one of my favorite coins right now out of these 6 because of this volume pattern of buying as where this bottom formation is shaping up. That's really significant. And we'll see that as we go through EOS, not as significant, a lot more selling going on. Ethereum, pretty weak, pretty puny and weak actually, lots of selling, less selling going on. So once it turns around and starts giving us some buying, maybe it'll get my favor again. Litecoin, surprisingly, I thought Litecoin would do way better. And this volume pattern is just like poo-hoo, nothing here. Again, this is weak and puny. Even though the chart pattern is setting up into a pattern that I don't like the volume that's going along with it. So it doesn't jump out at me. Another, no good. This is so much weakness here that there's no good there. So ADA so far of these 6 is my favorite. And then we go into the MACD indicator. I'm watching for higher crosses, higher crosses, higher crosses again. If this crosses higher and we're starting to break above these levels, this is going to be really good. We've got nice pattern. We've got nice volume. We've got nice setup with the MACD. That's awesome. Let's go through to the rest of the indicators. So here are the rest of the markets. This is looking weaker here. It's not seeming like it's going to flare positive right off. When I go into Ethereum, this has got crosses weaker here as well. So it's not setting up. Even though it's got crosses positive, it needs to cross positive and a lot more work to do for Ethereum to wake up and be a trade. Litecoin, we've got some higher crosses, but again, it's got a cross positive. It's got some work to do to get up above these levels before it can turn into a trade. Tron, probably no surprise here. It's much the same thing. We've got the crosses lower. It's got to cross higher and build. So we've got a few days anyway, and unless, of course, it just blasts straight off. And this trading method will filter out those blast straight off coins. I don't jump on those unless I happen to be at the chart at the time it's starting to take off. I may put on a small trade, but most of the time I want to filter those out. They take off and then they just fall back. On the 4-hour time frame in the Ichimoku Cloud, this isn't giving me a jump out buy me signal yet. No. EOS, how about you? Definitely not. That's a sell signal in a downtrend, actually. These coming up here and then this crossing negative, that's a sell signal in a downtrend. So no buy signal setting up here, not setting up here. This is looking like a sell signal in a downtrend. So I'm not touching these. I'm not going short on them, but I'll paper trade them, right? I'll just watch and say, okay, that was a short and I didn't take the trade, but I'm not taking any shorts on these. I'm just going through and reviewing, and we'll do this again and just to review it and then have this data. But there's not a lot of exciting news here. When we see Bitcoin prices compared to Litecoin, Ethereum, and Ripple here, it's all bad news as Bitcoin is building up here. No definitive answer from Bitcoin quite yet, but with everything else weakening off and Bitcoin dominance coming up and testing these 1, 2, 3 formations and pushing stronger, it would say that alts are, there's no market for alts right now. We have to have this 1, 2, 3 formation break the other way. This green line has to be crossed with Bitcoin dominance for our altcoins to be taking off. That's what this chart is telling us. And so no, the alts are not jumping up and down yet. Now I want to take a look at a few of these though. Ethereum is the top volume thing and not looking good. Let's go look at BNB, Link, and MTL. If you have any requests, you can put them in the chat and I'll go and pull that up. I haven't looked at it. So I want to go to BNB, BBB. And zoom out a bit. Let's get rid of the indicator. Just looking at the price chart pattern, looking for a 1, 2, 3 bottom out of this. 1, 2, well, okay. If it breaks above this level, we're still not a full 1, 2, 3. I still wouldn't like it so much because we have this level above it. I would want this to now stage quite a bit before it actually turns into a buy signal, or come back here and retest and give me a little 1, 2, 3 formation right here. So you've got to do two things for me. You've got to pull back and give me a formation and then show me strength, or you've got to break above these formations and then show me strength. So nothing doing in this. It looks like Bitcoin is going to be continuing on, and I think everything is going to get crushed. Let's do link. HIJKI link. All right, so link was making a 1, 2, 3 potential, really looking like it, kind of broke above it, and then off it went. So a failed 1, 2, 3 is a potential pissing off the roof formation. A failed 1, 2, 3 at these levels after pulling back is a potential pissing off the roof formation, which I have to give credit to Crypto Sniper for that chart pattern name. But this is not good for this to be happening right now in this coin. There's no saying if it'll go and do that pissing off the roof pattern. It may just come back to these levels and retest, which would give us a larger 1, 2, 3 and a better buy-in signal here. And I think this has long-term get up and go. But right now it's kind of easing off. Let me go find the chat. Trader Rituto. Yeah, I would Trator Rituto. I see it, your name here regularly. I should be more smooth at it. If I could hear it, I would be able to. And then we have from Paris. I am grateful to have you along. I think I'll go all in on ADA. Maybe, but not yet. Let's wait for all in until we're around the corner. You know that if you're going around a corner in a car, it's the wrong time to put the gas on. It's a lot of fun, but it's the wrong time because of the acceleration curve. It pushes you off into the bush. And it'll be the same thing if we're trying to get in full steam out of around the corner on these things, on any of these markets. You're likely to get whipped and killed, beat up on it. So wait until we are on the trend. Wait until we are on the parallel channel line. Then you know where the nitro signal will be. It'll come and it'll make a little 1, 2, 3 formation here, and it'll be breaking out on the direction of the trend. This is nitro. That's the place for nitro. After it comes up and it retests inside this thing and gives us the 1, 2, 3 to going higher, this is nitro phase right here. So don't use nitro. Don't go all in. The truth is that more often than not, when we put on a trade, we're going to be wrong. And it's not a mistake to be wrong in trading. The mistake is to go all in trading. Start off small and then wait for this signal to go and put the nitro on. For your leverage trade, for your biggest trades are after the trend is already going, especially right now. With Bitcoin potentially going straight up, all of these alts could still get massacred. So let's go check out XLZ. I don't even know that one, I think. XLZ. I don't have XLZ. Matic. Let's go check out Matic. Matic/BTC. Okay, so this is shaping up. We're looking at the 12-hour bar pattern here. And so on the 12-hour, it is building. Looks to me. We have the number 1 point. We have the number 2 point. We have the number 3 point, and we have the required time for the exponential moving averages to come close together. Because I'm using the 60 and 20 exponential moving average, if prices stay at the same level for 60 days, then both of the exponential moving averages will be right on top of each other. Usually it takes 3 weeks to 5 weeks for a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation to set up on the 12-hour time frame and mature enough to be changing direction. So now we're going around that curve and we're starting off the straight stretch already. We're at the very beginning of the straight stretch is what we're assuming when we hit that 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. So if I go into the 4-hour time frame, it's not really clear that there is a good place to have purchased in here. We've got the 1, 2, 3, and then it's come back up, almost breaking higher. The thing is that it's made a little 1, 2, 3 formation here, and it's come back to retest its own little 1, 2, 3 formation. So now we have a larger 1, 2, 3, and we have a smaller 1, 2, 3 inside of that. When those are nesting and setting up and verifying, these are very powerful. Really powerful when we have them verifying. But right now, it's a little too soon. It's like it's still on the corner. For me, it's too soon to do something with it. It is lining up. It's beautiful. And when it does go, it's going to make some fantastic moves. It's going to make more fantastic moves than it did in the past because it's taken longer to set that up. We could take this and stretch it straight up. Whoops. And this is where I'm expecting all of the alts are going to be doing. They're going to take these bottoms that we've been making and they're going to go just as high as that is wide. And so I want to be prepared with a small bit of my position here as it's coming out. And then I want to assume I'll be ready for the potential for it to do a move up this way. And it may be a little bit more steep. You know, the pattern on the chart will actually tell us as it's starting to go. Then we'll know where our parallel channel is. As it comes up and bounces off these channels, it's going to give us that. And it'll work out with technical levels. It'll work out with Fibonacci levels. Everything will all work out. And our relative strength index will be diverging. The on-balance volume will be strong enough. The MACD will be confirming. And even the Ichimoku Cloud will be giving us a buy signal and an uptrend. And that's where the nitro goes on. MTL. Yes, I wanted to look at MTL because it is one of these top volume traded and it's gone up 10%. Look at this little chart here. MTL has done something. Is it time to look at MTL and get into it now? Probably not, because we had written this up as an alert in our spreadsheet for our pro guys earlier. Out of this 1, 2, 3 formation on the 4-hour time frame. And so we're always watching for the 1, 2, 3 on any time frame. There's a little small one. Then it built into a bigger one and broke higher above it. It's testing in these levels. As it comes back to retest, we have additional entry points. And then for us, we would put our stop loss above our entry and just stay there. Let me go see the spreadsheet. I love this spreadsheet because it lets me quickly go to any coin and check it. So MTL, we did get in at 32.42. It's at 34.50 right now. So we have an open profit loss of 6.8%. And the stop loss has been moved up above our entry so that we are just sitting now and watching it. Would I be getting into it now? Certainly not. Even though I think it's going to be going up, I don't want to buy right now. I want this to take its time now. If Bitcoin's given some strength, this may come back. It'll kick us out of our trade at no cost. But then it'll give us a better build up again. If it does come back down here, it's going to give us some nice chart patterns. So this is what I'll be waiting for now, is for it to come back and give me some place to step in. If not, it's got to create some structure here for me to step in and to see that it's built up enough that I can go off of it, because then I'll see the divergences and the indicators and everything. Clear that off. What do I have for an indicator under this chart? This is the RSI, strong, 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 a little bit overbought right there. So I would let this come back. You can see as the RSI is getting up, we're in a downtrend. So as it's building, it eases off. It's building, it eases off. It's building. I want it to ease off, retest, and prove me right. that it's now, right? I want it to come back, retest these levels, and then go higher. I want the RSI to come halfway down and then to start back its way back up. Because all the way along here, this is the decision point for RSI. As it's coming above these levels, it's strong. As it's dropping below those levels, it's weak. So I want all of this confirmation before I can take another trade entry on that. You are welcome. And Tezos, TXTZ, XTZ. Not on an exchange I normally trade. Huobi, oh, Kraken, KuCoin. It's a killer to try to do technical analysis on a chart like this. You've got very little time for it to, you don't have any history for it to develop on. And so many of the new coins I don't trade. I let them do their things, set up, give me a bottom formation. Maybe if it consolidates nicely enough in this range and bounces around enough, we could watch the RSI and the divergences. If I know about the project and I'm wanting some, maybe I would buy on the breakout. But this chart is not so good. Not so good because it's too volatile and not giving me a nice downtrend that I could do. So this kind of chart always kills me. I don't know if that, let's see, Huobi. Okay, more chart history here. Very good. Now it gets to be a lot more fun because we got the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation set up here and it broke above it. And then we've come back and we are retesting this number 2 point, retesting this level and hovering here. So now it does get much more exciting for it to break above these levels. We've looked left. You see all the way along here, this is really key levels. So yeah, this is a much more exciting chart when we have some history to compare it against. And again, you could look at something as it's consolidating here. If you're a swing trader, that is a valid entry because if it goes down any at all, you know to get out. And so your risk to reward ratio is pretty controlled here. The other option is to wait for it to break out, but often it's going to come back. So I would wait for this to break out and retest again here on this. And we still would be ready for a long trend on this one. All of the alts, I think, are going to be going on a long trend, much like we've seen in Bitcoin. Hey, Snow, good to have you here. Darko Taurus, Jamie, Achil Frexit. Could I check out XLM? Make sure I don't miss any because I did that before. So Achil, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Probably not. Let's go to XLM. XLM was a favorite of mine for a long time, and I lost money trading it because it was a favorite of mine, and I held it against my trading plan. It's not a favorite of mine anymore, and not because I lost money at it. That's my fault. But they have an inflationary setup with their coin right now, so they're paying out dividends for people who are holding, which might be good in the long term at these levels if you're willing to sit on that kind of stuff and digest it for the next year and a half. But other than that, I would ignore all of that sentiment and pessimism if it starts to break out above this 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Okay, now we have a new number 3 point here. But if it breaks up above these, we've got that same idea. Buy on the breakout with a small bit of your position, or wait and buy on the confirmation as it comes back to retest and go higher. So here we were filtered out. We didn't do anything because it was making the bottom formation and shaping up. But there's our pissing off the roof pattern after it fails. After this fails, who knows where this could go? And so I can only take action when it turns around and starts to go the other direction, and only small action waiting for it to build levels here. And I could add on and I could add on a little bit there. And then I'm done. I'm sitting on it until it hits 9,000 Satoshi. Once I've established that kind of a position, then I want to wait for a long time for this to be going way, way up. And there's nothing doing on that yet. Let me zoom in on this. Nothing doing. It's got some time to mature this bottom formation. Most all of the alts. And I'll tell you, by going through our patron bull market watch, this gives you that bird's eye view. And when things are starting to change and we get a bunch of alerts here and we start to get a bunch of holds, this spreadsheet is going to save tons of time to come in here and instantly see which ones are moving and which ones are not. Because they'll move in waves. There'll be a first wave of them that goes up. They will make top formations and pull back a little bit as they're staging. That's when the second wave will start to come up. And we'll be tracking all of those. Well, the pissing off the roof trading formation isn't mine. That's Crypto Sniper, who I got that from. He was showing a copper chart pattern and saying that the world economy is slowing down because, and I looked at the chart and I could see a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation that had failed. And after that, the market all came down. Then I'm going, hey, I love it because here is a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation that failed. And what does this look like? Every time the 1, 2, 3 formation actually fails, it's bad. We don't want to be holding into it. We really want to know when those exponential moving averages cross over. And we don't want to be bag holding at all. Now, there's another request over here. CELR. I don't know if I should pronounce it seller. Like a wine cellar with good wine. I like this chart pattern. I like it. It conforms to the broken down trend line. If I drag this over a little bit, zoom in slightly more. On the 12-hour time, it's not as clear to see, but there is the 1, 2, 3 bottom formations shaping up here. You can see that the exponential moving averages both are changing direction now. The slow-term exponential moving averages is losing momentum and starting to change. The longer we go sideways, the more close these two will become. And I also like it because we're seeing this strong RSI divergence at the same time. And the RSI breaking above these mid-levels is upswing time. Upswing, upswing. Break above these levels is upswing time. And for me, I'm thinking altcoins should be going up and Bitcoin should be easing off from here, but there's no recognizing should. This is the main chart, the Bitcoin dominance for us altcoin bag holders, or you're standing there with Bitcoin ready to buy altcoin, or you're there with US dollar and you're ready to buy altcoin. All of us have to wait for this Bitcoin dominance to ease off and break below the green line. Otherwise, we are just into a higher risk time. It could be higher reward, but better to be certain, wait for it for now. Let's go and take a look at Bitcoin again. I am running out of time for this stream, so I wanted to get this out. There's so many good things to be doing here. And I want to get the word out about our patron group. I want to grow that. I want to help more people who are trading but struggling with it. Really good to see this volume pattern. It seems to me that this is ready to be breaking out. Let me just do a quick 1, 2, 3 on this. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Not quite a 3, but it's consolidating into a very nice pattern here for us. Then, of course, when a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation breaks out, 1, 2, 3, as that breaks out, we have the option to be buying on the breakout. But since so many of them are fake out breakouts, right? We're in a downtrend right now. This could be a fake out and then back down. It could keep going. And we want to be wary of that. And so the second option is to wait for the prices to come back and test your number 2 point as this is done and show some strength as this is done. The other thing to notice is this is a 1, 2, 3 top formation setting up, and that breaks below these levels are very bearish. So we have this bullish zone breaking above these levels. That's bullish, and it really continues on our parabolic. And if that continues on our parabolic move in the direction of the trend, this is a nitro moment. This is where the leverage trades are an option to consider when we're doing a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation and it's at the bottom of our parallel trend line, and it starts to break out. So we got the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation and the breakout. The 1, 2, 3 bottom formation and the breakout. The 1, 2, 3 bottom formation and the breakout. If they're in along the trend, these are the moments for Nitro. This is the time for high leverage for my own part. And it's also the most risky, of course. It's the most dangerous time because we're at such a triangle here, such a, what do we call it, consolidation, that it's very powerful. When it moves, it should go as deep as this is wide. It should go that deep, not quite that deep. It should go down to the 63, or it should be going up to the 16,000. One or the other. If I squish this, really, it out of this triangle, it should make something just as big either direction. And we'll see how that plays out over time. Now, Darko Taurus asks, as patron member, we get said coins with entry point and targets. There are 2 patron levels. There's the $15, where you get access to the Bull Market Watch spreadsheet, the color-coded spreadsheet. And you also get additional training like this technical analysis, Bitcoin technical analysis for the complete beginner. So you get the entire presentation, you get the PDF that goes along with it, the video that goes along with this hour-long training, and more things that'll be coming up as well. But the main thing you get every day is this color-coded spreadsheet update, so that you can log in here and instantly see which ones are in a hold status according to this trading plan, which ones are changing color. I'll go to the Poloniex spreadsheet. And I'm biased, but I think this is genius. I came up with this over time. It took a while for this to develop into the state that it is. But now it's such an easy way to watch where things are turning from fail, neutral, alert, and hold. It, like, you can just see it all coming. And then after things top out and they cross over their exponential moving average, we color code them that we should be exiting that trade. So again, you can see where Clam was a great hold right until the day it broke and it was time to exit. It's been a fail since then. Bitcoin, we could see that it was a hold status for a long time. We had an exit here when the exponential moving average crossed over the 4-hour, and another exit when the exponential moving average crossed over the 12-hour. Now we're watching. Oh, we did have an alert to get back in as it crossed over the 4-hour time frame again. I have to check that. But that's what this is for, the color coding, so that you can quickly scan through and see which ones are getting set up first. And we update this every day. The more advanced crypto tier is for our pro alerts. And that's where you get the specific buy entry, the entry target before it comes up. So Link is an alert for this level, but this alert will have to be canceled. It's faded back. Then you get your profit target level and your stop loss level, plus a screenshot so that you can be tracking all of these things. And there's an enormous amount of information. And so we boil it down into a PDF that encapsulates everything for the day. And I send this out and post it onto our Patreon group so that everybody has access to that. So I appreciate that question. Let me go back into the charts. Zoom right into Bitcoin. Let's go back to auto. And every minute, this is different. We're at such a point in this triangle. It's wonderful to watch these things unfold, especially when we've done the analysis beforehand and we can see these 1, 2, 3 patterns setting up. The important thing, I think, for the technical analysis of Bitcoin, it's not so much about the entry point. That is such a small part of the trade. What you're doing right after the entry of the trade and how you're doing your risk control is more important. You really could flip a coin. You really could. You could flip a coin. If it says heads, you go short. Tails, you go long. And then you only hold the ones that are winners and you add on to the winners. you've got a guaranteed system. Now, is there any more markets you want me to go over? I've got to sign off and continue on with the day. I want to do this update every single day. I want to do it every single day because it's my own trading journal as well, so that I can come back and quickly see what was I saying about ADA on this specific time. Because we never know what day it's going to just blast off and all of a sudden we've got some huge moves in the market. Then I want to go back and see what was I saying the days before. Did I see it? Did I mention it? FTM USD Phantom USD let's see if I can do that. FTM. I don't do a lot of against USD, and the reason is the US dollar is not going to go up to $200,000 each. The US dollar is going to go down in value over time. That's what it does. It's an inflationary currency. And so while I do, of course, look at that as I'm cashing out and taking some profits and sending it home to go out for dinner or what have you, I don't look at the USD prices for trading. I want to trade everything against Bitcoin. I want to assume that I'm holding Bitcoin unless I'm holding alts. And then I'm going back to holding Bitcoin as soon as that alt is out of the green zone, so that I'm only growing the number of Bitcoin that I have. That's the idea. And so when I look at the true US dollar or whatever, this USDT, it doesn't make as much difference to me because I don't know how it's reacting against Bitcoin. And that's the main thing I want to grow as my Bitcoin. So when I look at this, it is in a downtrend. It's got such a small little bottom formation here that it needs some more juice. This is another chart that has very short time frame, but I want it to a stage above here and show me that it's stopped breaking, stopped going down. Because right now it's all in downtrend and there's been no bottom and no turnaround. So I couldn't even do anything on this. It needs to change direction a little bit for me to put on a small bit of the trade, and then it needs to make that parallel channel upward for me to start adding on to a real significant trade on this one. So this chart doesn't give me love. Even versus BTC, it's pretty much the same, really. Phantom. Let's go back to Bitcoin. What are you doing? And if you're interested more in this stuff, we talk more about this all the way through the day in our Discord chat. So when Bitcoin makes a break one way or the other, we're talking about it. We're posting that. And if you want to have more details about the trading method and you are a patron sponsor, you get additional spots in our Discord chat. So you get some more private stuff, more detailed stuff that's going on in there. But for today, I'll wrap it up. I appreciate you guys being here. This has been a little bit of a longer stream than I expected because like all the alts are saying no buy, no buy, no buy. So I was expecting we would just quickly go by and see all that stuff. Let me go to one that if you haven't seen, you should probably pay attention to. Look at this chart pattern. KuCoin. This is building up. And this could be your free ticket into our trading community. Just by getting a tip like this, when it is setting up, as soon as this is starting to take off, there's going to be some really beautiful upside to this. Remember what BNB did. This is a similar business plan. And KuCoin now has BitMEX, the high leverage KuCoin system set up using KuCoin. So this is an enormous, very important chart pattern that we don't normally cover and nobody asked for. Yep. Have a great day, everybody. I will sign off. I'm going to go and get a few more things done for today. I appreciate you guys being here and look forward to having some more patron subscribers. Let's grow. Ciao for now. All the best in your trading. Doom, 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 doom. I'll get my musical intro and exit set back up too. Cheers. Bye for now. JC, come and join us in our Discord chat, and I'll tell you how to get your chart looking like mine so that you have Bitcoin in the background and you can always look at your coin versus Bitcoin in the background. Cheers. Bye for now.